on James and tell him that you've been training consistently to become an NBA player. He'll be the only one in that room that doesn't laugh at you.
Yo, what's good, boys? So it is Monday. Welcome back to a new video. Right now, we just got back from the gym. A really good pump, and we are posting a little TikTok right now. Before I head out, I'm gonna go return some cat food from the cat that I was supposed to buy, but you know, obviously y'all knew about the whole thing. So returning that cat food, getting like 30 bucks back, bro. That joint was so expensive. It's like 20 bucks. And then gonna get a book, like a little notebook that I can jot down ideas for during my YouTube videos. You know, I'm not gonna go word for word. I'm just gonna have like the main ideas that I want to talk about, because a lot of the times in my videos, like I'll just yap, like I'll get away from the topic of the video, which I don't want to do, and I want to have more structured videos to where, you know, I have, you know, things written down that I can look at, you know, when I get to points where I'm kind of veering off of the main topic of what I'm trying to convey to y'all boys. So we're gonna go and do that, go and buy that notebook, then come back, eat some grub, and continue off the day. Obviously today is a bank holiday, so we did not take any trades. Low key today, bro, like there was 30.1 minute candles. So markets were actually moving very quickly today, which is very rare for bank holidays. But no matter what, I didn't trade it anyways. There wasn't even a good setup. And the one setup that actually did occur that was, you know, somewhat decent, that had a good draw on liquidity, that had a good retracement and a good confirmation, it didn't hit. It was also like a 2.7 RR trade, which is definitely off. You know, it's out of bounds, I guess you would say, for me. So I did not take that trade, nor I don't think I would even take in general, because, you know, typically the max RR I'll go for is like 2. So yeah, didn't take any trades, but now we're about to head out, and yeah, I'll update y'all boys later.
Get praise to our rich. This is success. Yeah, this is success. This is success.
Oh shoot! All right, boys, we secured the bag. Got a watermelon, and then my mom, she said she'll pay for the honey, so I paid for the watermelon, and I got the beef tallow as well, bro. Raw honey, local, and then I got the beef tallow. Gonna start cooking in that. So yeah, bro, I'm gonna do watermelon juice. I'm gonna cut these watermelons up. I'm gonna cut the watermelon up into like specific parts so that I can have watermelon juice with electrolytes, with salt, all this different stuff every single day after my workouts to replenish, you know, after the workout, and just because it's pure gas, bro. It's pure gas. So I'm gonna bottle them up every single day. I'm kind of like what is like pre-packet, what is it called, like meal prep kind of. The smoothies, which is just going to be watermelon, a little bit of water, some Celtic sea salt, and then probably like a little bit of lemon juice. And yeah, that's it, bro. So it's about to be really good. So I'm going to start having that every single day after my workouts. And yeah, so no trades today. I'll update y'all when I get home about the markets. I was lucky, just kind of buns, but yeah.
I don't really rap for the money, I'm just trying to help nigga heal they pain. Finally made my papa proud, he called every time he hear my name. Same nigga applaud every time they see me first time.
All right, so we got one fourth of a watermelon in this, and yeah, bro, we put honey in there, we put some high quality Celtic salt, and a little bit of water, and yeah, bro, let's see what we cook up. Ooh, this is my first time trying it, bro. This looks like pure gas. Hold up. Oh, we got it, bro. Yeah, ignore that. All right, let's try this, John, bro. It's not as sweet as I anticipated it to be, bro. That's pretty gas, though, bro. That's pretty gas. Oh my gosh, bro. Dude, put some, oh, I need to put ice in there. That's what I forgot, bro. That's what I forgot. But right now we are about to make I'll probably do one more for I mean, we got this much left, so that'll probably be tomorrow, and then we'll have 2 more days after that we can use that stuff. So all right, what's good, boys? So it is Wednesday. Yesterday got a little carried away, and I did not pick up the camera to show y'all the charts, right? So before that, peep the eats. We got, oh shoot, we got eggs. We got 4 eggs. We got some beef, some little big grapes, some peanut butter to eat my apple with, and a kiwi. So pretty simple breakfast. And yeah, so let's look into yesterday, right? So yesterday we have 2 targets going into the day, sent out to the Discord. This new week opening gap and this hourly low if we're going to dump off open, right? Which is, I told them overall I'm more bearish than bullish, simply because the fact is following the hot time frame, we tapped in this 4-hour gap all the way up here, and we're trending lower. Market open was right here. So closest target is right here, but we could also run higher, tap into the 4-hour gap as well, retracing that. So that was a possible target. So let me mark that out as well. Let me get rid of these things real quick. So 4-hour gap right here. Okay. So we can go either way. It's wherever we go off open. And what do we do off open? We just dump lower, and guess what? Market open, what? Right here. 0 retrace. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gaps, but 0 retraces to the draws and liquidity. It was really rough watching this happen, but I mean, I'm not going to FOMO. I'm not going to take some bad trade. These are some decent eval trades. Maybe something like this on an eval would have been nice. I would have definitely taken something like that, but yeah, with this being XFA, I'm not going to take some FOMO entry because we didn't get a retrace. So, but yeah, once we tapped the draws and liquidity, you can see price just began to slow down. We kind of had a reversal, and we started to move up to the 4-hour gap. And this is the only decent trade. We had tapped into like a 15-minute gap right here. This is after a lot of chopping. This is pretty late in the session, so I wasn't even on. But this is like the only A setup of the day. I would consider this like A setup. Got like, it's just a simple 1-to-1 to the 4-hour gap. So other than that though, nothing for the day. I was already off by like this point right here because we just started chopping around and low volatility. Like, I'm just not going to mess with that. But yeah, no trades really yesterday, no A+ setups. So yeah, we'll hopefully get something today. Well, we ended up taking a loss today. You can see right here, 650. I really just don't know what I did wrong. I'm trying to talk to my mentor back and forth. But yeah, bro, today was pretty obvious, bro. Like, we were going to either go higher to those highs or going to retrace in this 4-hour gap, right? And what do we do off open? We just started to push lower. We started to push lower off of open right here. We inverse this 15-minute gap. And, you know, it's pretty obvious that, you know, you want to see a continuation down to the 4-hour gap, right? So in the 1 minute, what do we get? We get price trending lower with very bearish candles and very small bullish candles, right? So that's very, obvious, just order flow, right? We get a gap tap into this gap right here, full retrace, and then we get a good continuation out of it. Very, very simple trade, right? Stop loss up here, all the way down here for entry like a little bit later, like right here. But yeah, so pretty much like a 1.9R trade, almost a 2R trade right here. And yeah, like, this is a perfect setup in my opinion. They're saying it's because the ES was uncorrelated, but personally, bro, I don't look at ES, bro. Like, this is ES at the time, so we are chopping, but like, bro, at any moment ES can continue moving, bro. That's why I don't look at ES, bro. It's gonna make me like overcomplicate entries, overthink things, and miss out on good setups just because ES. So I personally just don't like looking at ES, and mentor said it's fine. So yeah, he just said, to be honest, bro, like, this is just a statistical loss. Like, we got a solid retrace, we have a good draw on liquidity. Obviously, it didn't hit. My draw on liquidity was wrong, but it was logical for me to believe that this was the next draw after us dumping off of open and inversing that 15-minute BISI, which is supporting price. So yeah, really unfortunate that we had to get stopped out on this, bro. But all we can do is just keep on moving. We haven't had a statistical loss. I mean, yeah, I've been taking losses lately, but they were just purely my mistake and just small technical losses that I've needed to learn from. But we haven't taken a statistical loss. I'm going to journal in a little bit, but it's been around a month. It's been a little bit over a month since the model's taken like a legitimate statistical loss where an A+ setup fails. So really unfortunate day, but it is what it is. Gonna move on, gonna hit the gym, locked out of my accounts, just gonna continue on with my day, bro. So got a lot to do today. Got reels to post, got a YouTube video to post, so it should be a good day. All right, so we just got back from the gym. Got our little watermelon smoothie right here, bro. It's about to go down. It's John about to go down, bro. Straight gas, bro. Every day after workout. It's like $4 for a week. I still have half a watermelon left, and I've made 4 of these with half. So I can only do it every single day of the week. Bro. Maybe a little bit less salt. The salt kind of gives it an awkward taste, even though that is electrolytes, bro. That is straight gas, bro. That is straight gas. So I'm gonna get this down. I'm gonna make some lunch. I'm gonna go outside, eat outside as always. But yeah, bro, I learned that when you eat outside, it's really, really healthy for you. It releases a chemical in your body. I forgot what it's called, but it releases a chemical in your body while you're eating food outside in the sun. So doing that and just getting more sunlight, getting more vitamin D, bro, I need it. I'm pretty, not pale, but I'm white, and I'm trying to get more vitamin D, bro. It's healthy. And all this stuff with the sunscreen. I'm learning over time. I haven't used sunscreen in like a year and haven't gotten burnt, bro. I've went to the beach, 2 or 3 times in the past year, and I haven't gotten burnt like I used to using sunscreen. Sunscreen is terrible. It's a bunch of chemicals, bro. It's full of garbage. And, you can use coconut oil, I think, and people don't use beef tallow. Just coconut oil, I think some people use. Avocado oil as well, like for natural sunscreen. But bro, if you're not consuming things like seed oils and stuff like that, that's inflaming your body and not allowing you to protect yourself, your own body to protect yourself from the sun, instead of relying on a man-made source like sunscreen with a bunch of chemicals, a bunch of man-made chemicals, bro. Then the sun is fine. The sun is really, really good for you, bro. Like, you gotta think about what our ancestors have done, bro. They're always outside. That's why we're living right now, because they lived healthy lives, bro. Just a natural life. So trying to spend more time outside. I'm going on like 1 to 2 walks every single day around my neighborhood. Yesterday I smashed out 8,000 steps. And just, again, spending more time outside, filming content outside instead of inside. Eating outside for lunch and sometimes dinner in the morning. It's too cold where I live, so that's pretty unfortunate. But yeah, that's the whole ordeal. We're gonna make some good food, and I'm gonna talk to y'all boys. Actually, you know what? Let me talk to y'all boys right now, okay? So, today was pretty rough, bro. Took a loss today, and I was low-key pissed. I was low-key pissed, really pissed. And, I could easily let that stuff get to me, bro, because I have these, like, short-term thoughts of me saying, like, bro, what? There's really just no point in me doing this, dude. Like, it feels like it's just day by day by day by day by day, not making any progress. And just not making any progress, but going, like, back and forth, bro. And in training, bro, it just feels so long-term, bro, but that's the way it's supposed to be. Success is not a short-term thing. It takes a long time. And, got some eggs. Get 2 more outside. Success is not a short-term thing, bro. And, my mind, in that moment, after taking that loss, bro, I was just so pissed. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong, bro? I have a 4-loss streak, 4 losing trade streak, that I broke last week with a WA+ setup on Friday, and then now I'm back to losing again. My mind instantly went back into that negative loop, and all I did was I prayed to God, spent some time with Him, and then went outside, got in my car, and drove to the gym and hit a nasty lift. And during that lift, I allowed my mind to think and to review mistakes that I've made, bro. And it helps me really realize that it's not the end of the world, bro. It's not the end of the world. It's never the end of the world, bro. It's that first 30 minutes to the first hour of, after you take that losing trade that really sucks. But if you can get past that point, bro, you can truly make a lot of growth. You can grow a lot. And yeah, so like now I'm in a positive mindset, bro. I'm ready to absolutely, crush the rest of my day, simply because I distracted myself and didn't allow myself to easily spiral, bro. Because so many people, they get in their negative thought loops, bro, while they take a losing trade, and they stay on the charts and they're just thinking, they're being negative. They don't lock themselves out. They don't go and hit the gym. They don't pray. They don't distract themselves with something, find something to do productive, right? And they end up spiraling, right? Because they let those negative thoughts get to them. So if y'all are struggling with that, bro, apply that. Go and do something else. Go and distract yourself, bro. Go and do something productive. Even things like being unproductive after taking a loss, like watching TV or whatever, you can low-key still like cook yourself, because I've done it before. I would not do that. You're still going to think negatively. You're not going to look at the TV. I mean, you're not going to be consciously watching the show. You're going to be thinking and overthinking and all this garbage. So just go and do something productive to get your mind completely off of it. And yeah, so we're back at it. And bro, it's really as simple as, for me at least, when I backed up and I really thought about it, I realized again, bro, the last 4 losses I've taken, those prior 4 losses that I've taken, one of them was a FOMO trade, which I typically do not do, and then the other 3 were technical losses. Looking at, I reviewed each and every single one of those trades after I took the loss today, while I was in the gym, and I was like, bro, okay, these look like, if I knew these small little facts, like, okay, 930 isn't a data high, or like if there's a fat wick off 930, like these small stupid things. I was like, bro, if I knew that, I wouldn't have taken this trade. I wouldn't have taken trade in these conditions. Like, okay, now I know that we need an actual deep retrace. So like last week I wouldn't have taken that loss, because right after that I would have taken that dub. I would have taken a dub that was 3 minutes after that. I literally taper it. Live trade. I'll literally taper it live after taking that loss, because we didn't get enough of a retrace. And then today we got a perfect retrace and a good reaction out of it. And my mentor said, yes, it was a good A+ setup. Your draw and liquidity was wrong. I was looking for the same draw. He wasn't even on the charts today, but he marked out the draws that he was looking for, and I literally had the same bias as him. And it made sense. Some people took the loss, some people avoided it because of ES. So I might start looking at ES as well, not overcomplicating and looking at SMTs, but making sure that we're going in the same direction, because ES was just chopping the entire time while that setup occurred. Talked to a few profitable guys in there, and they said that they look at ES as well. They don't look at SMT or any of that stupid stuff. They really just simplify. They say, okay, if ES is trending in the same direction, we get an A+ setup on NASDAQ. That leaves us with typically 1 to A+ setups a week. And there you go, right? So I'm gonna start implementing ES, and yeah, so today, I mean, to be honest, I'm considering that a statistical loss. I'm not gonna blame that on ES, me not looking at ES, because I don't typically look at ES. But going forth, I'm gonna start looking at ES. I'm not gonna trade ES, but I'm gonna start looking at it to make sure that we're going in the same direction, that we're not severely uncorrelated. But yeah, bro, I was patient today, bro. I took a good trade that looked good, and I managed it correctly. So that's all I really care about. Getting a journal this trade in a little bit, go outside, and just enjoy the rest of my day, do a bunch of work, post a YouTube video, and then, yeah. So I'll see you boys later. We cooked up. Watermelon juice, blueberries, banana, 4 eggs, piece of chicken, and some sweet potato fries. About to be pretty bust, but pretty much fully converting to an animal-based diet. Yeah, I'm gonna have vegetables like sweet potatoes and stuff like that, or I think a sweet potato is a fruit. No, cucumbers are a fruit, avocados are a fruit. I don't even know about sweet potatoes, but pretty much just a full animal-based diet. Just eating meat, fruit, some vegetables, and yeah, just fully focusing on the meats, bro, animal-based stuff. And I've heard I'm gonna cut out the sourdough bread as well. I've heard that a lot of autoimmune diseases are inflamed. I mean, it is inflamed, but autoimmune diseases are inflamed by gluten, which is obviously bread. So I'm gonna cut that out and just fully just go animal based and see if my eczema goes away, because it is back. It's pretty bad again. So just going back and forth with it, bro. It's so annoying, but we'll figure it out. But I'm gonna bust down this food, and I'll talk to y'all later. Ugh. Ugh. Ooh. I took no trades so far today. I'm really just gonna stay on probably like the next 30 minutes. We're like pretty much already exhausted, I'm pretty sure, for the day. It's pump dump, like back and forth. So I'm pretty sure we're not gonna do anything for the rest of the day. But if we do decide to just like break out of this range and get like a super A+ setup, I might be willing to take it. But most likely we're not. So I'm really just gonna watch TV. Might post a few stories, catch up on a few things, and then yeah, see if we move anywhere. But if not, then yeah, I'm not going to be just sitting here staring at this. But yeah, I'm not going to really be staring at the charts. Gonna get off for a little bit, have that go in the background, so I check like every 10 minutes or so, see if we break out of the range. But yeah, just gonna do some work right now. I'm gonna just sit in bed, chill, and post a few videos and catch up on a few things I know I need to do. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. The only difference would be your view, right? Your habits would still be the same. You would still be falling into the same habits. All right, so we ended up taking no trays today. You can see right here, locked out, whole bunch of garbage, buns, PA. This setup was like actually kind of looking somewhat decent to the hourly gap above. But as you can see, retrace was extremely strong, so I wanted to see like an immediate buy back up, and we just got 3 little mid-aught candles, so I'm not going to be entering off of that as garbage. But if we got like a really like displacing candle or 2 displacing candles all the way like up here, you know, it could have been actually like a really solid setup after breaking out of this range. 5-minute gap tap, it would have been pretty nice, but didn't even take it. But yeah, just a whole chop day, bro. Just nothing. So getting off, sunning out, and we got a lot of stuff to do, bro. We got a lot of stuff to do today, so we're gonna get to it, bro. All right, boys, so we've been absolutely crushing the day so far. You can see right here, got a lot of stuff done. Still working on the 8,000 steps. Right now we're at like 4.5K. So probably after dinner tonight, we'll go for a walk, a few laps around the neighborhood. But there's a piece of scripture that I want to talk to y'all boys about. So in the book of Job right now, which I'm reading, just finished up Exodus last week, and getting into Job, bro, it's really a good story, bro, for some of y'all, especially the traders in here, especially people that are really going through a rough time, you know, when it comes to trading, when it comes to drop shipping, online money, like business, bro, in general. You're going to go through a lot of stuff because, you know, it's not easy, bro. Business is not easy. So read the book of Job, and it really, like, I advise all of you guys to read the book of Job. It's very good, and it correlates to a lot of the struggles of what you and I face on this difficult journey of entrepreneurship. You know, I'll give you all a quick summary just because I know the premise of the story, even though I haven't read the entire story. You know, Job was a close to perfect man. He was a very good man, and very good relationship with God. And you know, one day Satan, you know, tempted, and you know, told God. He said, you know what? If he is so good and he is so prosperous, you know, Job was very wealthy, right? And you know, the eyes of the average person a long time ago, you know, during this time period. He had, you know, a lot of animals, right? He had a, you know, quite large family, right? Quite a large family. So he was considered a wealthy person, right? And the devil came up to God and he said, you know, why don't we just tempt him and see, you know, how long his faith holds? I can almost guarantee that he will curse you. And that's what the devil told God. And, you know, what God did, he allowed it. He said, you know what, let's see how strong Job's faith is. And the devil started to, you know, curse Job, right, with boils all over his skin, killing his family, right, getting rid of his entire flock of all the animals and everything. He lost everything. And in the end, Job did not curse God one bit. He only grew stronger in his faith with God and just trusted him in this long in that process, in that long-term process. And guess what eventually happened? You know, the devil obviously lost, right? The devil lost that competition, like he always does. And God gave Job everything that he could ever wish for back tenfold. Everything back. So it's kind of like what you and I go through with trading, bro, because we know that, you know, God is not necessarily, you know, allowing temptation into our life and struggle into our life because of Satan, but because God wants to test us. It's not really exactly like Job, because, you know, he went through, you know, hell because of Satan, right? But God is pushing us right now. He's testing us. He's pushing us through hard times, for us to grow in our relationship with Him and our faith in Him, so that, you know, eventually we are able to handle the things that He's going to give to us, right? So that's just like the premise of the story. But there is a piece of scripture right here, and it says in Job 9:20, it says, "Behold, God will not cast away a perfect man, neither will He help the evildoers." He will not cast away a perfect man, right? You see all the time, bro, good people dying and evil people flourishing, right? And you may, you know, look at that, you know, that fact, and also look at this verse and say, well, that doesn't, you know, correspond as well. That doesn't relate to each other as well. It's the opposite. God will not cast away a perfect man. It's not talking about, you know, God is making you, you know, struggle in life. He's making you poor, all that stuff because, you know, you're a good man. He's saying that if you're a good man, He will not cast you away when you die and you go to heaven, right? He's not going to cast you away and send you down to hell if you are a good man, right? If you are a righteous man in the eyes of God. But on the other hand, it says, neither will He help the evildoers, right? So you see evil people all the time. Evil people run this world. God is of the Spirit, bro. He rules everything. But Satan, he roams this earth, bro. He roams this earth. And, you know, you see these terrible people, you know, being the most successful people in the entire world. Yet, at the end of the day, when they die, when their body dies, their soul will die as well, and they will go to hell for eternal life. So, you know, sometimes, bro, take a step back and really just try to understand, okay, like, is God talking about the physical in the world here, or is He talking about spiritual? Something like this, bro, yes, it can be applied to physical, right? He's not going to cast away a good man, but, you know, we see it sometimes, bro, where, you know, good people suffer and bad people, you know, flourish here on this earth, right? But again, Satan, you know, runs a lot of stuff on this earth, bro. God runs everything. He rules everything. But Satan prowls on this earth and ruins people's lives and, you know, their eternal life as well. So, you know, it's just calling guys to continue to do the right thing, continue to do what's right in the eyes of God, right? So this is just a calling guys to continue doing what's right in the eyes of God, not what's, you know, right to everyone else in this world that, you know, are, you know, telling you this and that, but to instead trust your heart, the Holy Spirit, bro, that God has given you, and trust in what the Bible tells you and trust what God has told you, bro. So, yeah, that's going to pretty much most likely wrap up today's part, today's vlogging. I'm just going to chill out. I got, like a few more 1,000 steps, but again, I'll do that later tonight. So, go for a little walk again after dinner. But yeah, pretty good day. No trades taken, but hopefully tomorrow we can get a good A+ setup. If not, then it's all good, bro. So I'll see y'all boys later. Peace out. All right, what's good, boys? So I know, look, you kind of look unemployed, bro. I got my blanket, just chilling. I ended up just taking a trade this morning. So we traded twice this week. I'm taking 2 trades. Holy, bro, we just bumped. 1 break even and 1 loss, right? So this is a trade. You can see it's very simple, right? We tap the 1 hour gap. off of open, and we begin to push higher to these 4-hour gaps. All right, this 4-hour gap and this hourly high. So on the 1 minute, very, very simple, tapped into it, hourly gap. We started displacing higher, got a good fair value gap. We got a retracement, and this is like what I've learned from the past mistakes. All right, so yeah, we're probably gonna hit the draw on liquidity right now, but we're in a bit of a range, so I don't really like taking fair value gaps like this. This is just, you're just entering again like in chop. There's no continuation or trend right here, it's just chop. But it makes sense that we're going to run higher here. All we just did, I guess, was just dig a little bit deeper in the hourly gap. But yeah, so what I've, past mistakes, y'all know, it's something that, I've just had to learn from a mentor and, experience itself, is when we get these small little quick retraces into gaps and then immediate moves without like an insane amount of confirmation, go break even quickly. So this trade, I took it, and this is considered like the sketch 1 minute retraces. Again, I had high confidence in the setup. We again tapped the hourly gap. We started to trend higher, got a retrace, and the way that this candle was printing was very, very bullish and very, very quick. We were pushing up very quickly. So entered about right here, and then I didn't go break even right when we hit this high, but I went break even like right when we were about like halfway through. Again, because like typically, if we're gonna have like a quick retrace, we're going to have a quick flush, like higher, like very, very quick push higher. But I just stayed very patient, went break even when I was supposed to, and it saved me, right? So y'all know from last trade, I think it was last Monday, took that loss, and again, it was because we didn't have like we just had like a 1 candle retrace and then a reaction off of it. This was actually like a 1 candle retrace. Right, and then we got a good respecting close, and then we got to push after the next candle, right? So when we have those kind of like 1 minute quick reactions off gaps, we're not getting like a full on like multiple candle retrace and then a multiple candle confirmation, which is like considered A+++, like the perfect setup. Then you go break even quickly at the internal highs, because majority of the time we're going to either flush straight to the draw on liquidity if we're going to get a quick retrace, or we're just going to completely fail after taking out the internal highs. So actually applied what I've been learning from my past mistakes, actually applied it, and it saved me. So W day, good. I mean, I think I did pretty well, so happy how I performed. And yeah, bro, let's see what happens. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get off. See right here. Took the 1 trade, break even, locked out, no trades after this. We ended up pumping higher to the 4-hour gap, and we got 0 retrace into this last rally gap to take it. It meant like a 1-to-1, no retrace into it. So it's quite unfortunate, but it's all right. We are done for the day. Probably gonna head out to the gym in the next 10 minutes or so, probably 10-15. I'll head out, hit the gym. And then we got to do like a bunch of other stuff today. We're going to start doing Bible studies every single Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time in the Discord. And we're also going to be doing weekly trading recaps every Friday in the Discord as well. So if y'all want to look into that, Discord is in the description, and y'all can tune in. So yeah, gonna head out to the gym in a little bit, but I'll talk to y'all boys whenever I pick up the camera next.
Who wrote down accurate accounts that we saw the man who hung on a cross and we touched the scars. He cooked fish and ate breakfast on the seashore. They wrote much historical documents that still preserve the history that we saw this man wash his word alive. Will I be the one?
Alright boys, that's going to wrap up this week's video. We are uploading a YouTube video right now. We're uploading the recap. Just made one for the week, pretty much the weekly recap. But, oh shit, what is that? I'm going to start doing that every single week, doing weekly recaps, posting them on YouTube as well, most likely. It depends if I'm taking wins that week or not. And, I decide to post an educational video. It's pretty much like one educational video every single week I'm going to start posting. So stay tuned for those. But other than that, bro, that's going to wrap it up, man. I learned a lot this week. I took a break even today, and then I took a loss on Wednesday. But other than that, bro, like I was able to learn from the loss, to start using ES, making sure that things are actually correlated, they're going in the same direction, not focusing on SM2, like all that stuff. Like I don't care about that. Simply just focusing on like, okay, are they going in the same direction? And then that being the only reason why I use ES. And then NASDAQ, just take an absolute banger. So hopefully, bro, next week we'll be able to get back on track and, get out of this drawdown, this small little drawdown that I'm in, and get back on the road, pretty much. You get back on the road with these XFAs towards getting this payout, this first 5-figure payout. So, or not 5-figure payout, this first 5K payout probably. But hey, bro, God has taught me everything I needed to learn this week. God is making me go through everything I need to go through right now for a reason. Same thing with you. And all we can do is just stay back and just relax, continue to trust in Him and His process, and continue to put in the work every single day and continue to try. So that's all we can do. But other than that, boys, if y'all want to join for the Sunday Bible study, we're going to do that at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday, every single Sunday. But we're going to start our first one this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern in the Discord. So if y'all want to join, it'll be in the description. This video is probably going to be coming out on Saturday. So if y'all want to tune into that, Bible study, it'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. So I'll see y'all boys in the next video next week. Peace out.